Hey, aloha and welcome. The Spirit of Sports. We're talking sports, we're talking life, brought to you by pods.com, coming soon. And my YouTube channel at Not Pods. August 31st, Thursday, 1 week till kickoff. Go, Lions, go. Roar, Lions, roar. I just want Nick Wright to get his mouth shut. Going to be talking a lot about him all year. Big Nick Wrong, as he's known in some circles. Maybe you'll hear about it one day. You know, he has good arguments, but I'm not sure even he believes some of the stuff he's saying. Anywho, it's a little before high noon. I got to go help out with the kid at PE today. So probably going to go a little short, try to get 15, 20 minutes in here today. Thursday, August 31st, the Spirit of Sports on Not Pods. This is Uncle Richie coming at you live. Just 8 minutes before high noon. Trying to be more consistent with my noon. I do have a set schedule coming up starting September 11th. Monday at noon, the Spirit of Sports NFL recap, and we'll do Under the Hood show as well, where we look at how the instant replay calls that are overturned, especially how they impact what the money is in Vegas. Fascinating. Tuesday at high noon, that's what he said. That's what they said. We take my picks and four pros picks. I'm going Cynthia Freeland, following her all season, Nick Wright, Chris Broussard, and Colin Cowherd. We're going to look at all the stuff they spew out. I'm going to try to stop cussing as much. I don't want to get banned. All the heep they spit out there, and see how it works out for them. I'm going to have percentages on the year, 2 or 3 things every week. Today, I'm going huge into prediction week on First Things First, so I'm going to rank my predictions against what the boys say. So that'll be Tuesdays. That's what they said. On Wednesdays, I'm going to try to round up Uncle Raz, have my talk story with Uncle Raz, talk some life stories, life and death moments, funny stuff, and then talk a lot of sports too. We play off each other well. Thursdays will be 3 p.m. I got my men's SHIT group. Sure happy it's Thursday, men's league group. So I'll be working at 4:30 on Thursday so I can squeeze it in at 3. We'll be doing my picks with and without spreads and any other miscellaneous news on the NFL. Friday, high noon. Miscellaneous. Catch up. NFL, maybe talk some NBA, maybe talk some Major League Baseball. I'll try to be around high noon, depending. That's Skins game, golf, so might have to just make it an early bird every week. Saturday, high noon. Spirit of Sports, ramp up the NFL injury reports, news, exciting games, game-by-game breakdown, whatever we got to do to set up for Sunday. And then Sundays at high noon, live with Scott Hansen in the Red Zone. If you're in your car on Sundays, just turn down the radio and turn me on, and I will be calling all the Red Zone plays and just keeping up with the action. Call me Scott Hansen Jr. I'll be watching him, and I'll be relaying to you. So exciting schedule. And, I'll be on more often too, but that's my set schedule. I can't wait until I'm 90 days in. I started July 23rd, so August, September. By about the end of October, I'll be able to be live on my phone anywhere I go. That's going to be a huge step, very exciting. From the middle of the Pacific Ocean, high noon Hawaiian time. And it could be any time, and you might just be sitting at the bar next to me or walking down the beach, and I'll say, hey, I see your Vikings hat. You want to do an interview? You want to talk Vikings? Tell your friends. Go to YouTube at NotPods or coming soon, notpods.com. This is going to be my career. I will be asking for 51 cents a month down the road, but for now it's free. Putting every waking moment into this. This is my career. This is my dream. It's what I've always wanted to do. I lived and died sports my whole life. That's all I did growing up on the coast in Oregon. Shooting hoops till 9 at night in the rain till mom's calling, come in and go to bed. So 1 week till kickoff. 1 week and 2.5 hours, basically. 1 week from today. This is Thursday, August 31st. Uncle Richie, the last day of August, coming into September. Wake me up when September ends. Never understood that. Billy Joe Armstrong and Green Day. That song, it's my favorite, one of my favorite months of the year, and he just wants to sleep through the whole thing. Green Day must not be sports fans. Wake me up when September starts. That should be my song. I might even record that. Wake me up when September starts, because August is kind of boring. Lots of news, though. It's been keeping me going with content. NFL all the time. So yeah, I got to go help out with little Emalani today, and in just about an hour, I'm going to help out with PE. Apparently, like one Thursday a month, and then squeeze that in right before work. I don't want to work. I don't want to have to clock in at 2:30 or 4:45 anymore. I don't want to wear shoes. This is the goal. This is what Not Pods is going to bring me. I'm giving myself 1 year to get at least 10,000 of you, maybe 100,000, maybe in the millions. It's very doable. And when it's time to give me 51 cents a month off your credit card, auto pay, you won't even know it's gone. Just know you're helping me make a better life for me, my daughter, my family, my friends, this beautiful state we live in. I will give so much. The more I make, the more I will give. Very exciting times. This is ground floor, snowball effect, grassroots marketing. Thank you for listening. I saw someone came on and then went off. Nobody's chatting me. You know what? It's 1 month. I don't expect it. It's okay. I will be big soon enough. The dream is, and 5 good minutes coming up with Uncle Richie from Not Pods. Let's hear his fascinating story. 1 week to football. Let's look at, we got prediction week going on. First things first, and that's 2 of the 4 guys that I am going to follow all year long on That's What They Said. And we have Chris Broussard and Nick Wright. So they did a whole bunch of predictions today, and well, they did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 predictions on different random questions about the NFL. And each one, I did mine first. I watched up to what the prediction was. I paused. I put in my 2 cents, and then they gave theirs. And these are season-long predictions, so we won't know the outcomes, but I will be keeping track of all of it. I actually have to write the notes up top. Anyone that predictions, so we can keep this at the end of the season. Predictions there. Predictions here, not so much. And I do have a new, yesterday I think I did my best show yet. And I did my interview that I did with Deshaun Watson. Interview with air quotes. And I did a Bucky Brooks segment soundbite. And I did a Stephen A. Smith soundbite on how upset and pissed off he is with Ben Simmons. And it rang true with me because I feel the exact same way. So every day, if it's not throughout the show on my Spirit of Sports show, I will have a soundbite segment from just what I heard, at least one, what I heard on the day. Today it's coming from Colts general manager Chris Ballard talking about the Jonathan Taylor situation. So stay tuned for that. That'll be when I'm sounding off. Let's talk some Super Bowl odds. We're going to talk all the division winner predictions when I revise it. So next Wednesday, I will go over Cynthia's and Broussard's, and if I can find Cowherd's, and for sure Nick Wright's, and then my own. All 8 divisions predictions. Super Bowl odds. So the first prediction was which team of the top 8 will not make the playoffs. So I'm going to go 1 through 8 on the Super Bowl odds. KC at 6-1, Philly at 8-1, the Bills at 9-1, whose window is closing, according to Nick Wright. And I guess Vegas is not as smart as Nick Wright because they have him as the third best odds to win the Super Bowl, but their Super Bowl window is closed, according to one Nick Wright. So one of those things where the guy just says stuff that I don't think even he believes. And then he calls out his partners on the show and saying that they're saying stuff that they don't believe when that's exactly what he's doing. Bills 9-1, 9-1. San Francisco 10-1. Cincy 10-1. Dallas 13-1. The Jets at 18-1 and the Ravens at 18-1. Now I looked at this list and I had to say the Jets is my team just due to strength of schedule, and I'm not sure that offense is going to gel, the offensive line. All the issues that they might possibly have. It's really the only team that I see that possibly outside of the playoffs looking in, which I actually did have them in my original playoffs. They're the second team looking in. I have Miami above them too, not making the playoffs. Baltimore Chargers and Pittsburgh in the playoffs. Miami, Jets, Denver out. That's my original. I will be doing a revision. Bucky Brooks might change my mind on some stuff yesterday. Some stuff being the Cleveland Browns. So I say the Jets. Nick Wright actually said he can't count the Jets because he does not see them as Super Bowl contenders. He thinks they're going to be last in the AFC East. So he went with the Ravens with the best chance to miss the playoffs. I think they're going to make a run at the Super Bowl. Then Broussard, which was kind of ironic after arguing for 10 minutes that the Buffalo Bills Super Bowl window is wide open, getting in a talking each over mouth fight on the air, which gets irritating. I hate the shows when the guys both start talking and yelling at each other and you can't hear anything. I would think the producers are in there going, one of you shut the hell up. But Broussard says Bills have the best chance to not make the playoffs out of this group. But also their Super Bowl window is open, and he thinks that they also might win the AFC East. So that kind of threw me for a loop. The next question. What records do you think will be broken? And they put up most receiving yards, QB rushing yards, passing yards, and passing touchdowns, something. So I was first act. I pause the show when I see the question, then I think of my answer, and then I look at theirs. So it has nothing to do with them. I see Tyreek Hill goes for $2,000. Tua stays healthy, gets rid of the ball. That guy's a slant and go 80 yards. Plus, I have him in one of my huge fantasy leagues. So, Nick Wright, KC wins 21 straight games to break the record. And it'll be week 13. They're going to go 12-0 this year. They were 9-0 last year. The record is 20 or 21. And they will break the record at New England. Just so happens that owns the record. And Broussard says Fields will break the QB rushing record, 1,208. And I think all three of those, I don't see KC going 12-0. I don't see KC going 9-3. I really think that it's going to be more of a struggle than people think. Mahomes always has his 2 to 3 game funky stage. And how long can you elevate new receivers and young guys? And I know you're maybe the best ever, but I never saw Joe Montana go through where he threw 2 picks a game for 3 in a row and doing weird stuff. Okay. Next prediction. These are pretty good. The most likely mid-season coaching change. I paused it. I went first. I say Vegas. I say Vegas. I have them. They're my 5-star under bet at 6.5 games. I just don't see it. That could change as I do my revisions, but as I sit right now, kind of high expectations for some reason. Just mismanaged, poorly run team since even before Al died. So that's my pick. Nick Wright says the Jets, Robert Saleh going to get fired mid-season. That guy's he's a Jets hater. And CB Broussard agrees with me, Vegas. Who's the best bet to have the play of the year? Not player of the year, the player of the year. I said Justin Jefferson because he's just acrobatic. And I think he had at least one of them last year. Nick, I didn't even listen to. He says Travis Kelce. He's a homer. I don't know what that's going to be. He said Travis Kelce and Chris Jones somehow. It makes no sense. What? Chris Jones recovers a fumble and runs to the sideline, gets knocked out of bounds, and Kelce catches him. Just look at me. I just made predictions. Just so people talk about it, and people it's just different. There you go. Nick Wright, Travis Kelce, and Chris Jones make the play of the year. Broussard goes with Lamar. That's respectable. That makes sense. Offensive player of the year. Well, I'm going to stick with my Tyreek Hill because I have him for $2,000. That might even be MVP. And usually player of the year doesn't go to the quarterback because they always get MVP. Nick Wright goes Bijan Robinson. I'll take that. Broussard goes CMC. I like it. Biggest surprise team. I had to think about this. I was thinking the Rams. I'm still not sold that the Rams are going to be bad. If three guys can stay healthy, if they can get the line somehow, if Stafford and Kupp and Aaron Donald are on the team and all pro style and their line is okay, I don't see him, and a great coach, I don't see him being as bad as everyone says. I thought of Chicago. A lot of people have them picked in the cellar. I think I have them for third, but 9-10 wins possibly. But I'm going to go Bucky Brooks. If you listened to yesterday, I had the Bucky Brooks segment. And he said 7 teams make the playoffs, right? Well, there's only 6 because Cleveland is going to make the playoffs. Adamant about it, and he told all the reasons why: line, running game, defense, DBs, edge rushers, weapons. And he kind of changed my mind. So my biggest surprise team is going to be Cleveland. A lot of people overlooking them. A lot of people have them last. NFC North or AFC North is tough. Probably the toughest division. But I'm going Cleveland. Nick Wright said Pittsburgh. Okay. I'm not sure it's a huge surprise. Well, I guess, yeah, that's pretty good. And Broussard says New Orleans. Then, let's see. 10 past high noon. Uncle Richie, this is prediction week. That's some of the predictions with my boys, Nick Wright and Chris Broussard. I will be following them all year along with Cynthia Freeland, which we didn't get into. I haven't got into her a whole lot because she's more fantasy, and that'll be week by week. More into that. I do have some fantasy thoughts on her. I have 2 takes from each of them today, and I think I will try to do this every day as well. 2 takes. But I'll be doing a lot more Cynthia as the season comes around week by week. And I do have the list of a bunch of her predictions for the season, but we'll do that at the end of the year. The end of the year breakdown show might be like the talkathon. I didn't mention my first 4 Sundays. Join me 6 a.m. Hawaiian to noon, and I'm going to do a 24-hour talkathon. I'm going to cut it into 4 Sundays, so 6-hour segments. I'm going to be live for 6 hours straight, week 1 through 4 on Sundays. Kind of like a telethon, kind of like a walkathon, kind of like a bikeathon, but I'm not asking for pledges. I'm just asking to realize that I'm putting in the effort, putting in the time. Every waking moment, I'm either watching my shows, practicing, putting together content, NFL.com, internet, NFL Fantasy Live, Cowherd Show, Good Morning Football, First Things First, Speak, love them all. Watching everything I can, getting as much content as I can to bring to you guys. So that's my deal. Join me weeks 1 through 4, and I will ramp it up further as we get closer. That's going to be, to me, it's going to be a biggie. the Spirit of Sports Not Pods Talkathon. 6 hours a day for 4 Sundays in a row. So as I get close to signing off, pushing 20 minutes, might be a little short today because I got PE with Emmy. Chris Broussard, 2 takes. Gino falls off and Baker loses his job by week 8. I don't know if they're hot, but everybody's wondering about those 2 of the biggest question marks. I think there's 25 question marks this year. I'll probably redo those too. Nick Wright. The Bills Super Bowl window is closed, officially closed. Not even a chance at the Super Bowl, basically, he's saying. And Dallas is fielding their best team they've had since 1995 with the triplets, Aikman, Smith, and Irvin. Do with that what you will. Cynthia, just a couple that I've gleaned over the past week or so. Luke Musgrave, a top 8 tight end, rookie for Green Bay. And Samaje Perine is her favorite sleeper running back. I can see that. As I'm about to get out of here, and as I always say, let's just go out there, try to make a better life for ourselves, be positive, love yourself first, people. If you love yourself, you can give more love. Don't beat yourself up. Try not to stress about things that you can't control. Stress is the killer. Stress causes cancer. Stress causes your teeth and your hair to fall out. Stress keeps you up at night. You need your good sleep. Don't party too much. I've learned these lessons. I'm on about 5 weeks not drinking, and it feels so good. Just wake up in the morning, feet on the ground running, straight to the TV, of course. But just be good to yourself. Love others. We're all in this life together. We're all in this world together. And as we do this, this is my soundbite for the day. Jonathan Taylor, everyone knows, is holding out from the Colts. Tried to get a trade. They were asking too much. Apparently they wanted Waddle from the Dolphins in a 3rd-round pick. So just ridiculous. Irsay is kind of a dumb beep. But this is Chris Ballard on the situation with Jonathan Taylor. I think it's kind of funny. And after you hear this little soundbite, about 15 seconds, I'm going to sign off. 20 seconds. So until we meet again tomorrow, will be, what's tomorrow? Friday, high noon tomorrow, maybe 1 o'clock. From the middle of the Pacific Ocean, this is Uncle Richie, the Spirit of Sports, brought to you by Not Pods. Listen up.
And what sucks, I mean, the situation, I'm not going to sit here and give you some rosy picture like, oh, this is just, everything's okay. No, it sucks. It sucks for the Colts. It sucks for Jonathan Taylor. And it sucks for our fans. It does. And it's where we're at, and we've got to work through it. And we're going to do everything we can to work through it. Relationships are repairable. They're repairable.